This episode of the Everyday Mermaid podcast is sponsored by the Mermaid Box. Ah! That's the sound it makes when you open it in your head, not in real life. But it's fantastic, and that sound is truly like that tells you everything you need to know about the Mermaid Box.
I actually think I do make that sound every time we open it.
It's true.
Pretty
it's
sure.
so magical. And you can pick yours up at mermaidful.com. They are also on Facebook and Instagram at mermaidful. And if you want to use my code mermaidvlogs, you can get a little percentage off of your subscription box. I mean, the last couple months have been great. We've gotten some mermaid sweatshirts, some t-shirts, some hair products, jewelry, basically anything mermaid. They're going to have in these boxes, and you will not be disappointed, mermaids. Check them out at mermaidful.com.
Do it.
Hey everybody, it's Abby, your everyday mermaid, and this is
Lauren,
my mergal pal, and this is
Mermaid Che Monique.
And you're listening to the Everyday Mermaid podcast.
we did it!
It took us a minute to get that intro right, but we're here, y'all, and we've made it. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We are here at MerMagicCon, the weekend of MerMagicCon. It's actually the last day, and we're all kind of done. But what were we gonna say?
No, I was just going to say it's the end of it and we're all dead.
We're all
going to say what you said.
Okay, great. We're all dead mermaids.
I feel like tour guide Barbie.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
This weird, like, oh, I'm so exhausted and happy. And,
Yes, all the good feelings.
Are they gone? Is everybody gone? Good.
Well, tell us a little bit about your role at MerMagicCon. What you are the head of, correct? The Fat Mermaid Society?
The Society of Fat Mermaids.
Society
yes.
of Fat
Fat
Mermaids.
Mermaids.
So sorry. Yes, tell us more about that.
Society of Fat Mermaids is both a clothing line and a community.
Okay.
And we're just here to kind of celebrate and uplift fat and plus size mermaids. The clothing line is size inclusive. So we have things from, primarily we sell leggings and t-shirts. And our leggings run from sizes small to 5X and our t-shirts run from small to 6X. And they feature fun slogans like Fat Mermaids Make Waves, and lots of just like cute pictures of fat mermaids, and other kind of body positive or mermaid centered themes, or kind of themes that hit that intersection.
Cool.
And then we have an online community. We try to use like our Instagram just as a platform to like kind of uplift and spread other curvy MERS images and whatnot.
Yeah.
And a Facebook group where we can be like, hey, I can't find a bra that fits. What should I do?
Sure. Yeah. Sure. So I do have a question about this. I was going to say that, and then I said this, and so it sounded like this.
I just thought it was the Nashville.
And it came out the way it came out. We're very tired. How do you feel? I know that sometimes the word fat comes across as just a negative connotation attached to it for whatever reason. So why did you name it what you named it?
It was very intentional, and it's been a little challenging because a lot of people who are people that I would call fat are very offended by that word.
Yeah.
And so like they won't buy anything we sell because they personally take offense.
Right.
But of all the words you can use, like fat, it is a descriptor. And the like acknowledging not using that word and being afraid of that word gives like all these. You don't want to say fat because our society believes that fat people are lazy.
Yes.
It believes that fat people are ugly.
Right.
It believes that fat people are stupid and incompetent. And that's why you don't want to use the word fat.
Right.
Like if fat just meant not thin, if that's all it meant, it would be okay. And that's all it should mean.
But there are connotations associated with that word.
And I reject those connotations.
Yeah.
And so I am fat. I'm also, this is cliche, fabulous. I tend to not say that because, like, a lot of those, like, fat girl cliches get annoying.
Right.
But, like, I'm fat. I am attractive. I am driven. I am, all of these things that, we secretely have loaded into the word fat. I have a niece who's 6, and I don't know what I was doing. I think I was like trying something on, and she's like, she said something about my belly, and I'm like, yeah, it's fat. She's like, that's a bad word. I'm not allowed to say it. And it's like, Yeah, and her family, like her parents are deathly afraid of gaining weight. Like it really is a bad word to them, but like all that kind of anti-fat rhetoric is hidden in being afraid to use the word fat.
Interesting.
So like if, Justine and I were talking earlier, and it's like if I go, oh, I can't fit this because I'm fat. I cannot fit into this tail because I'm fat. And it's like, oh, you're not fat. You're like, when I call myself fat, like I am, I literally am. But like the reaction to say, oh, you're not fat is you're trying to say, you're not ugly. You're not stupid. You're not incapable. You're not less than. And we have built all of that into the word fat.
It's like people are immediately trying to put you at ease when you were not at ease in the first place.
Right. But yeah, and it's like every time you go, oh, you're not, it's like, what are you really trying to tell me I'm not? Because I am literally fat. So what do you think I mean when I say fat?
Right. Wow. That's a big mission, girlfriend. And I'm here for it.
It's like they automatically assume that you're trying to put yourself down.
Right.
Like, no, I'm just describing who I am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In a positive and fun light. No
Or
less.
sometimes just a short and straight answer,
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't fit because I'm fat.
Yeah.
I don't fit into this chair because I'm fat. Like, that's all there is to it. Sometimes it's just direct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So now I did something I don't normally do.
What is that, Lauren?
I did research.
Oh my gosh. Can you believe it?
Normally, I don't look people up so that my conversation is as organic as possible, but I did. And I found something out that makes me very, very excited. You're also a burlesque dancer.
I am.
Oh my gosh. That makes me so excited. So I just got to go to my first burlesque July of last year for my 30th birthday.
Oh, awesome.
And I got all the tingles in all the good places because it's so wonderful. I love it so much. And so tell us how you got into burlesque.
Do tell.
I got into burlesque. I saw a thing on like a show. It wasn't 2020, but it was like kind of a news-esque show. Okay. And it was about this like, and I've been fat my whole, like literally, maybe since I was 2, I've been fat. There's a story about that. But I got into burlesque. I saw this thing on 2020. It was about this troupe of burlesque performers. I think they were in San Francisco. And I think it was just called like Big Burlesque.
Okay.
And I was about 17 at the time when I saw this and had all the like kind of self-esteem issues you first of all have as a 17-year-old added to the ones you have as like a fat 17-year-old. And so at the time to see this band of like fat, sexy ladies was like the most like cool and empowering thing. Yeah. And so I kind of just bookmarked it in my head like, not I'm going to run away and join the circus, but I'm going to run away to San Francisco and I'm going to join Big Burlesque. It was just like a fantasy. It was just a cool thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then before the internet got like too good, you know how you could just get lost on it? And you'd be like, oh, Shay's a burlesque dancer. And then you sit on the internet for 6 hours and next thing you're learning about like rabbits who can tap dance.
Right.
And you're like, how did I get here? And like now you can't do that because the internet's too specific. So you'll just like only end up at like knowing everything there is about burlesque and the history of it. But it used to be like you could get lost. Yes. And so one night just being up and lost on the internet in that fun way,
as you do,
God knows how long ago, I discovered a burlesque troupe that was local to me and I went to see them and it was the most magical thing ever. And so they had a monthly show. So I went back the next month and it was still very cool. But it wasn't polished on like the level of like Cirque du Soleil. It was like, this is cool, but I can do that. Yeah. And I went up to somebody and I said, what do I have to do to do this? Yeah. And they said, take this class and come to this meeting. So I took the class and I went to the meeting and that's that.
That makes me so happy because the moment Lauren mentioned that, you just lit up.
Well, there's something, and I equate it to belly dancing as well. They kind of have this similar aura to them that not only is the audience having a fantastic time, but the performers have this way of showcasing themselves that they could have had the worst day, an awful, and you never would know because they look like they are having a blast. And there's something about that magic that I just find so enticing, and then it's quite enticing in other places as well. And so I so enjoy it. I so enjoy it as a performance art, and I so enjoy it as an athletic art because, oh my gosh, the amount of movement that's involved, the amount of like knowing where all the bits and pieces need to stay involved it's quite, whew.
Well, and I think that is just another aspect of your level of confidence. You seem like just a super confident person in general. Is that true? Or like where did your confidence come from exactly?
I think it's true to an extent. I'm human, you know, I have my insecurities. And I'm very kind of shy and I feel awkward as a person.
Yeah.
And so like coming into Mermagicon, like I had to give myself a pep talk. It's like, you're going to meet all the people. You're going to do the thing. You're going to talk to people. You're going to say hi, you know, and it's a thing that I have to like coach myself for because I have been at this point a performer for so long. I can kind of flip that on switch and just be like, okay, you're doing the thing, you know?
Right.
And then it's like also awkward when you exist in a space where like a lot of people know you. You may or may not know them, but also a lot of people don't. So it's like this weird, and that happens to me like in like my local burlesque scene and like I have this weird amount of like notoriety. Yeah. You know, where like sometimes people are like, oh my God, Shay. And I'm like, do I know you? Right. But like then sometimes like, you know, I can get 20 of those in a row and then I have to like awkwardly be like, hi, I'm Shay. And people are like, okay. And so it's like, no. And all the other people here think I'm a big deal.
Like that Shay, the one that they know.
No, exactly. Okay, and it's like, it's just a weird space to exist in. I definitely, like, my mother always encouraged me to be super assertive. Mm-hmm. And I think I generally, like, live life in my lane, which is not to say that I don't try things that are difficult, but there's certain realms where it's like, okay, I got this. And so that confidence kind of just comes with, like, being in your lane. And I definitely was coached much of my life, I think, because my mom felt like she wasn't confident enough. She wasn't assertive enough. And like, I think when people have kids, they're like, whatever they think they're lacking, they try to like pour it into their kids.
Totally. Yes.
So I guess it kind of worked.
All right. Well, then I challenge you to tell us something that you are not confident about.
What am I not confident about? Dancing.
What? Oh my.
I know. Right. And and part of it is like because people expect that like I can dance. Right. And like I don't feel confident dancing, like in like social dancing. So like I can belly dance, like I can teach belly dance. I do burlesque. But like my burlesque is like the cha-cha slide, fine. But like the cha-cha slide went off and now you need to like, you know, just dance to Beyonce with the Singapore Mermaid. And it's like
totally. I'm with you, girl.
Yeah. My burlesque is more of what we call like the strut and strip. You know, like just walk, pose, pull off your glove. It's not like a, you know, like there's a shoulder wiggle, but it's not like I don't do the highly choreographed dancey stuff. But no, it's funny, literally like working on, of all the things in life, this in therapy, like somebody's getting paid a lot of money
to hear your woes
about
dancing,
feeling awkward dancing in public. Yes, like social dancing in public is something I like. It's a thing I'm trying to work on, but I do feel very self-conscious about it. And part of it is because I think because of how like I exist as a person and like how I'm embodied, like I think there's like these certain expectations that I don't meet. Like you go to a party and if there's like only like a couple other Black girls there's like a American social expectation that like the Black girl can dance. And it's like, but I can't though. Yeah. But and I'm trying to like get to the point where I'm like, I don't care because I enjoy dancing, but I do feel super self-conscious about that.
Yeah. Well,
so that's one.
I don't. I'm just like, don't care. I won't do it.
And that's how I want to be. I'm just like, because
music make you lose control, and that's how I feel.
Is that Missy Elliott?
Yes.
Everything's a quote.
Yes. Well, and I only do it if it's choreographed. I don't love doing it. Like, I'm with you there. It's just, I don't like it, and I don't care to like it, and that's where I am on that.
I like it when I'm by myself, you know, when you're doing that like dancing in your like bedroom in your underwear, like
with the hairbrush.
Then it's like okay, whatever. I'm offbeat. It doesn't matter. But like in public, I'm like, I'm offbeat. I'm a bad representation of the Black. Like this is not good. Like it's not good. So
we gotta get
it's a place where I struggle.
Yes, that's funny.
I can be your freeform dance instructor.
I appreciate that.
Oh, okay. Lauren, do you have any tips for like at this moment you can share with us?
It doesn't matter what you do. If you're having a good time, everybody thinks you can dance.
So I guess we got to get over our,
Yeah, because oftentimes the stupidest dance moves that I do are the ones people are like, yes, and I'm like, I'm just hooking some friends and I'm pulling them in. I don't know, like I've had weird, like goofy eye exchanges with people across the floor because they think whatever I'm doing is just hilarious, and I'm just having a good time, and that's what people are attracted to.
Okay,
it's not good dancing. What people are attracted to is having a good time.
Okay.
This is true.
So
interesting.
That's where I stand.
I am so fascinated. That's good. Well, okay. So what is next for you just in the world? Like, do you have any projects you're working on or with the society? Or like, what's next for Shay?
Oh my gosh, there's so much next for me. So, we are launching a podcast for Society of Fat Mermaids. So that's happening now. Okay, it will be called Fat Mermaids Make Waves. So
cute.
That's happening. I this spring want to just kind of like get a master kind of doc that exists of like all the tail makers, how they actually fit. Because there's so many people who don't start mermaiding because they think there's no tails that fit. But honestly, most of the tail makers, their sizes are a lot more generous than like clothing size. And so, we'll be like, oh, no, you can totally mermaid. It'll fit. But I'll tell you, when I was like looking for tails and stuff says extra large and I wear 3X, I'm like, oh no. And then come to find out I can wear a large. So some of it is just like the information needs to be available.
Yeah, that's great.
This weekend, I spoke with a couple of the tail makers about different things in terms of expanding their sizes of tails and tops. So I'm really excited to help push that. We've been in touch with a few. I'm helping one tail maker just get people's sizes, like measurements, so that they have a better basis to make larger size things.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really, really excited about that there's going to be like more accessibility.
That's
feels
huge.
really good.
I love that.
Those are things that are definitely happening. Then there's like fantasy things like
Sure. Like what? Tell us all your fantasies.
all my fantasies, like, Fat Mermaid retreats and pool parties and stuff like that. And those take a little more money to make happen.
Of course.
Whereas like getting all this information gathered just takes legwork. Yeah. So that's in the works. And then I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to do with myself as Mermaid Che Monique. I want to start.
Well, how did you start mermaiding in the beginning? Like, how did you become a mermaid?
I became a mermaid, I feel like the way everybody became a mermaid.
Do tell.
I watched The Little Mermaid.
Wait.
Oh, right. Hang on.
Did you have a hashtag Jody moment?
I did.
Okay, well,
Tell us.
Tell us all about it.
I did. I watched it when I was a little kid. If it just was the 30th anniversary, then I was like 3 or 4 when it came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is everything. I want to be a mermaid. And I, went to the pool. I was definitely a water baby. Went to the pool, always swam with my legs together because I really wanted to be a mermaid. So that was kind of the first kind of like huge seed plant. Had all the there was this really cool mermaid doll that came out in the 90s and it had like gems they velcroed on, so you would like brush her hair with this magic wand and then like she'd get rhinestones in it.
Oh my
gosh, so cool.
I remember her.
I had her.
I didn't have
loved her.
But I remember the commercials for
yes,
it, and it was
yes.
like the brush went down and the gems
like
showed
stuck
up.
to the brush.
They like were velcro.
Yeah.
So like the brush I guess had to be like some sort of like dispenser type, so maybe like a Pez.
Yeah.
Like
But
a Pez with gems,
which
and
is
then the
my
hair,
version.
and then they would like
Oh
Velcro
my
to her hair
gosh.
as you would brush her hair, something like that. I definitely
So
had that doll.
90s. I love it.
Yes. And then, so that was kind of the first start. And then when I was, my burlesque troupe was in the Capitol Pride Parade one year, a while back, like 10-ish years ago. And the theme was, what's your fantasy? And like without a beat, I was like being a mermaid. And so I made like a walking tail costume to be in the parade.
Yeah.
And A, I loved it. And B, it was like a total hit, even though, I mean, I don't sew. But I like costumes, so I will staple things together.
I am with you there.
So I stapled together this skirt.
Justine's running her fingers through her hair in abject horror.
We have the mermaid seamstress in the audience right now, and she is dying inside.
And that's why we're just like all laughing.
She's
Like,
horrified right
you
now.
stapled together a skirt to walk a couple miles in? I did. I stapled together this green, beautiful fabric. And then, you know how you can like make a tutu by just like tying tools? So I made this huge, voluminous tutu. Actually, it's been awesome because I've been able to recycle it to use it for like St. Patrick's Day stuff. Because so then I just kind of wore the tutu at my knees over the stapled together skirt. And then I made this like shell bra. And I think I just like kind of like, there may have been stitches, but there was a lot of hot glue. Sure. Some rainbow stripe because it was Pride fabric, and then just started hot gluing all these shells to it.
Yep.
And then my mother was like, "That's boring." And so the
okay, Mom.
the like shells, the little white ones. She started doing rainbow stripes on the shells and like pumped it up a notch. But yeah, that was kind of like my first adult mermaid experience. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm totally a mermaid. I need to do this. I need a tail. And then at the time, the like only tails were the silicones and they cost like a couple grand. And I was like 22 or something and I didn't have a couple grand. And so even though I had
a couple grand.
True. And so even though I like had this full like fantasy of like doing kids parties and like arriving in like a pickup truck with like a pool bed.
Sure.
Because like the whole shtick was like I can't be dry, like, you know, and so like I'm having them like spray me down. Like I had it all worked out. I just didn't have the like couple grand. Right. And so it sat there. And then ironically, I decided to start. I did have a not major tail maker, not actually safe to swim in, tail that I got on Zulily one year.
Do not try this at home, children.
Don't do
Actually,
you can get the tail. The skin was fine, but the monofin was not. That I got on Zulily. I just saw it on Zulily and I was like, yes. And I got one for myself. I got one for my niece. And then I got one for my sister-in-law because I didn't want to, because I got my niece and I like matching ones. I didn't want to like overstep. So I was like, oh, you have one too. You can be a mermaid with me and your mom. And so that was my very, very first tail that my neighborhood pool wouldn't let me swim in. That I wore to the beach, and it was still very like just casual. So at that point, I was just like a hardcore like mermaid, or not even a hardcore, like a medium core mermaid enthusiast. Like most people, like mermaids are cool. Like if I happen to be at a store and it says something that says mermaid, I'm gonna buy it, but I'm not like actively seeking it out.
Sure. Right.
And then I literally don't know how I got the idea for Society of Fat Mermaids. Like I had like randomly stumbled across like a class about like t-shirts in general. But I don't know, like one day it just like hit me that like the way my mom raised me, like I didn't get like a lot of like I watched Little Mermaid, but I didn't get like a lot of princess swag and stuff because she really wanted me to have like representations of like Black women and like Black princesses and stuff. Yeah. And so.
You mean Disney's not good at that?
I
am not afraid to throw shade at them too.
So I didn't have a lot of that, but like, I don't know, one day it just crossed my mind that like, it would not be uncommon, except in my personal life because of how I was raised, for me to have a shirt with like Ariel on it. Like that's totally normal to see like a fat Black girl with like Ariel. But like if someone who looks more like Ariel had a shirt with a mermaid who looked like me on it, like that would be weird. And I was like, but why though?
Right.
And so I just kind of got the idea for Society of Fat Mermaids. It was kind of like random. And I started it really as a clothing line, knowing that it was going to grow into a community, which I guess is like why I named it what I did.
I was about to say,
But at that time, like, I decided to get into mermaiding and, like, kind of join my local pod just because I wanted to have, like, a pulse on and, like, an awareness of the community. But I was like, I'm just going to, like, mermaid casually. Like, I'm a person who thinks mermaids are cool. I'm going to, like, wear one of these tails from time to time. And I'm going to have,
how it
like...
starts, though.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
it's
I'm
all
just going to
lie
do this a little
from
bit.
time to time.
Yep. Seriously. And then, like... I have an amazing photographer friend, and she took this picture of me that kind of went viral. And then I was like, well, I mean, if the people want me, I guess I got to give the people what they want.
You must.
And so that was that.
I love that story.
So good.
I love everything about that story. So as a Black female, how do you feel about all the new Little Mermaid live action?
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I am. I'm really excited. It'll be very cool to see.
And
I don't like though, like from what I can tell, like when that announcement was made and then there was all the controversy, it seemed like the announcement was made and percentage wise, like maybe 3% of people complained, but then 90% of people like kept sharing the fact that people complained to say that they don't agree. And so I feel like the controversy got made bigger than it actually was, and that the voice of those people, right? And like the voice of those people, it's like when like people have like those like hate rallies, and then like 200 people, like 200 times more people show up to protest it, but then it like amplifies the hate rally anyway.
Right.
And I feel like that's what happened, because it's like from what I can see, it was like really a few people were like complaining, but everybody was like, oh my gosh, this is so controversial. And I do not stand for that. We do not, and it became this whole like thing. So like that I didn't like, but I'm totally excited
The controversy
to see it.
around the controversy.
Right. But I'm super stoked to see it.
me too. I can't wait.
Reserve judgment.
Well,
I'm very concerned. I'm just very concerned about the way that things will look. Like I need them to not look like I just need it to look good.
I'm curious as to how they're going to do it. And I haven't been like following it super closely, but
we have. Well, and here's the doodah that I have. I mean, I am thrilled that Halle Bailey's playing Ariel, because she is Ariel in my mind.
She looks like a 12-year-old.
She looks, she talks,
so she
acts.
definitely has got
I'm
the
happy about it.
15-year-old baby face down.
As far as the casting is concerned, I'm fine with it. But as far as the CGI is concerned, we're all real scared.
Yeah.
Because
that's what I mean. Look good.
Yeah, we saw a not a preview, but like what they're basing the CGI off of, a video of it, and I hope they make some adjustments.
Well, see, I have been forever altered by the new movie Cats. I'm not returning from that for a very long time. It's going to take a while for that CGI to get out of my brain cells, and that's where I'm coming from. When I'm like all live action things, CG.
Lauren has been scarred.
So scarred.
Fair enough. See, I've just been like not paying that much attention. I'm like, oh, Halle Bailey, that's so awesome, cool. Me and my niece are gonna have a great time watching this. And I've just been not like a.
That's probably best.
Like I'm terrified I'm gonna watch a movie like this.
Yeah, because Lauren, I still have not seen Lion King, because the live action Lion King, because I am just afraid of how I will be sad at the end if it's not.
It's not that it's not.
I randomly watched Jungle Book. I don't watch a lot of movies, period. But I did watch Jungle Book, and it was pretty good.
Yeah. The I've never been a huge fan of the story of Jungle Book. I mean, it's just like a bunch of dudes. Like the whole thing is male centric, which is fine. Like it's just not my story. But the animation for that is killer.
Do we know if they're going to do anything with the plot line of The Little Mermaid? Because the one I grew up watching is definitely not friendly to a Time's Up 2020.
You mean 16-year-olds shouldn't get married?
16-year-olds shouldn't get married in 3 days. You mean someone who is a magical mermaid shouldn't give up everything she is for a stinky boy? So when I was a little kid, The Little Mermaid and like Bewitched were like my favorites. And then I turned like 9 and I was like, wait, she's a mermaid and she stopped for him? Wait, he's married to a witch and he doesn't want her to be who she is?
I know.
And so like then I started like actively like hating them, because I was I was a budding baby feminist and I was like, this is highly problematic.
Sure.
And I was a 9-year-old.
I appreciate that. Well, and I think with all these live actions, it has been clear that they're trying to be better about the storylines and the accuracy and the times.
Yeah.
Because I know, like with Mulan especially, they've changed like everything, because it was banned in China because of all the inaccuracies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But then I'm also worried about like the overdoing it, which is what happened in the Beauty and the Beast, in which it was just the audience concerns were so overdone that it was like, here, we have to bash you over the head with the fact that this town forgot about this prince for 10 years. It's like, so here's the spell that made them forget about it. I was like, we can suspend reality for long enough to believe that there is a castle somewhere in the forest that
Right.
just happens to not exist in anybody else's mind.
For sure.
So it's like I don't want the overcorrection to just make it
Right.
a drag. I like to be treated as a smart audience member. That's my main point. Like,
Well,
and it's harder to do that these days.
yes. We have diverted, y'all.
Yes, we have.
Down the stream. We got to move on up here. Okay, so where can people find you on the social medias if they wanted to do such things?
Well, Society of Fat Mermaids is all over the social medias as Society of Fat Mermaids. So Instagram, Facebook, and we're societyfatmermaids.com. We have a Twitter. I don't tweet. I need a team. I'm basically me and some really nice friends from time to time.
Yeah.
But on Facebook and Instagram,
Yes.
mostly Instagram, truthfully.
Yeah.
But I'm working on that Facebook. And then we do have a Facebook group. So you can meet really awesome other people who are engaged and better at managing things than I am. At the Facebook group is called Society of Fat Mermaids. Let's connect. There's a couple little questions to answer, basically saying you're going to be a nice person and that you understand that we everybody's welcome to join the group, but we center fat bodies. And so you need to be good with that. And we like things like we're not going to do diet talk. There's like a whole entire America and rest of the world that you can talk about your diet, but you don't need to do it in our Facebook group.
Right.
And like little things like that. And then I personally am at Mermaid Che Monique on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Love it. We go follow them everywhere, and I will link all of your as many as I can. Yeah, your Facebook and Instagram, all the things in the description. If you're watching YouTube, in the description of this video, and something will probably pop up right here if you just want to click it.
Ooh, and if you're like me and you're listening to the podcast and you
Yes.
like want to write it down and you're driving and you're like, I'm going to listen to the show notes later, but you
Right.
don't. Che is spelled C-H-E.
Ooh,
So
thank you
it's
for that.
Mermaid, C-H-E, Monique, M-O-N-I-Q-U-E.
Love that. You can follow us at Everyday Mermaid Podcast on Instagram. We do have a Fans of the Everyday Mermaid Podcast group on Facebook. And if you go to patreon.com/everydaymermaid, you can get access to all of the podcasts a day early and ad-free, and also access to our Mermaids After Midnight section, which I think might be fun for us to reconvene and talk about some burlesque fun things.
Ooh,
Because
that sounds fun.
I'm intrigued. I want to know
You should
all
be.
the
It's so much fun.
things. I want to know. So thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. We loved having you.
Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh. Thank you to everyone that watched and listened. And we will.
See you on the flip side.
Bye, mermaids. Bye.